This is the new French Avenue Marmara. It's got a crazy presentation style, which as time goes on, I think is gonna become more and more common. Is this stuff actually worth owning? Today, this one and 14 other French Avenue fragrances. I'm gonna let you know what they smell similar to and whether or not they should be on your radar. Hey friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, Marmara, this one has a really interesting presentation style. Basically you have a bottle right in the middle and almost like a 3D printed set of Greek columns around it. Just very attention grabbing. And let me tell you guys right off the rip, this, in spite of how different and cool it may look, is not gonna be for everybody. It smells similar to Purpose 50 by Amouage, which is two things, or possibly more than two things, but definitely two things. Crazy effing expensive and crazy effing strong. If you have ever smelled that fragrance from Amouage, you know that if that hits your clothing, it's just part of it. Like it melds with the fibers, you're never gonna get it out. And spraying it on your skin, it'll be there like a week. That stuff is unholy in terms of how long it sticks around. And while this one here is quite strong, it is not that strong, but really almost nothing is. The quality here, really nice for the price point, but just like the Amouage, it is not gonna be for everybody. Purpose 50 is one of those fragrances where if it works for you, you're gonna think it's a masterpiece. If it doesn't work for you, you're gonna think it's disgusting. It's not one of those ones that has a whole lot of middle ground. You know, it's not a scent that's made for everyone to wear anytime that they want. This one has kind of a papery, woody aspect to it. It has a good amount of frankincense in there as well. And it doesn't really have a whole lot of, you know, sweetness or fruit or anything like that to cut through. It comes across high quality, more of a fall wintertime fragrance, more of an evening scent for most people. And while it's definitely something that you could throw up on your shelf and have people go like, oh, what is that? That's interesting. This is gonna be solely for those people out there who have smelled Amouage Purpose and Purpose 50 and who really like that scent profile and want something similar on the cheap. But if it's something that you're completely unaware of, you've never smelled it before, do not buy this and expect that you're gonna get it in and just immediately go out and grab 10,000 compliments and all this stuff, because that's not what that is. The next one though, way easier to wear. It's this right here, Safari Breeze. Now I know as far as the presentation style, that looks a little bland compared to this one over here, yeah. And in actuality, this is kind of funny. When I got this in, this front part was just off. Somehow, some way, when this was stuck on, the little sticker on the front here, it was attached to this little like faux leather tassel instead of the front of the bottle. So I had to peel it off and like stick it back on there, but you can't even tell. It'd be funny if I said that and then it just goes, falls off. Now this is completely and entirely different from that right there. They have absolutely nothing in common. This one is a tropical beast. Smells really similar to Tales from Zanzibar. Extremely fruity, sweet, lightly tangy off the top. It has coconut, blackcurrant, and also grapefruit. Has kind of a guava aspect to it as well. Again, tying it back to Tales from Zanzibar. It's got a little bit of a minty aspect, some woodiness as it dries down. This stuff smells amazing. Big time attention grabber. So you go from one that's gonna be very particular for the type of person that's wearing it to one that just about everybody's gonna like. Really solid staying power as well. And it is kind of unisex, so don't be surprised if your girlfriend or your wife or whoever steals this one for themselves. Spring and summertime, this stuff, easy. Vulcan Black Friday Edition, limited Black Friday Edition. Ugh. Will it actually truly be limited? I don't know. Anytime that these companies come out with something that's limited edition, a lot of times that's code speak for we're gonna play it by ear. If it sells, oh yeah, limited edition, you can still get that 10 years later. If it doesn't sell, just discontinue it, it was limited anyway. That's basically how it goes. But to be fair, same thing happens with designer fragrances and niche fragrances. It's limited unless it's successful. And this fragrance, it smells similar to Xerjov's Tony Iommi Deified, which is why it's got that whole black aesthetic and everything. Really strong staying power here. This stuff lasts a long time. It is leather forward. You're gonna pick that up right off the top. Also has apple, saffron, cinnamon, rose, and some woody aspects as it dries down kind of underneath the leather. It maybe doesn't pop quite as hard as Deified right off the top in terms of how the opening just kind of explodes. This one is not mellow in the sense that it's weak, because it's definitely not. It's just it leans more into that leather right off first spray instead of having more of the saffron in the opening, but still a really, really good alternative to the Xerjoff, and for way less. Before we head to the next fragrance, an update for the codes. The JOMASHOP codes have changed. So as you see here, these are the new ones, and those are going to work for the next few months through the JOMASHOP app. So anytime you shop there, use those codes, save yourself some money. And hopefully I'll have some more codes coming soon, but for now, we got the usual suspects as you see here. Be aware the Gift Express code is being devalued. So shout out Gift Express. But outside of that, everything else is the same. Up next, we got a new one. This is Zenith Deep. Zenith Deep, what could this be? Well, this is gonna give you blue fragrance vibes. Yes, this is that type of scent that you're gonna wear whenever you want, daytime or nighttime. Similar in quite a lot of ways to Bleu de Chanel. More specifically, Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. So it's gonna be right in that style, right in that wheelhouse. Really, it truly is the quintessential anytime, anywhere fragrance. Anything that smells similar to that. It has a nice aromatic kick to it right off the top. You have some mint in there, you have citrus, you have pepper. Also, of course, ginger, which is going to play in with that more typical blue fragrance opening style. As it dries down, woodiness, some amber, a little touch of incense as well. This right here basically going to combat with Club de Nuit Iconic. And in terms of quality, it is right there with it. I would say if you can pick this one up for cheaper than the Club de Nuit in the future, scoop this one. Otherwise, just whichever one strikes your fancy. Can't really go wrong with either. Bit of a hype beast from the past year, Veneno Black. But not Black Friday, this is just regular old black. And this smells quite similar to Killian's Smokin' Hot, which has one of the best openings to me in the game today. Yeah, something about that just like releases dopamine in my brain like the second I smell it. Doesn't hurt that it's a big compliment puller as well. Fall and winter time, absolutely stunning. The opening is a mix of like a lightly candied apple shisha tobacco with a touch of smoke. You have cinnamon, a little bit of muskiness, also vanilla in the dry down. This one goes to battle with Lattafa's Mashrabia. And once again, either one of those you're not gonna go wrong with. The only drawback for this one is it's more difficult to find than Mashrabia. So a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times this one will be higher priced. So if that's the case, like if you're looking for this one and this one is marked up like $20, $30 over Mashrabia, at that point, you know, you should go with the cheaper one because the difference in quality is not like massive between the two. If you can get this for an equal price to Mashrabia, then at that point, kind of a coin flip. Both super good, both smell amazing, and I've worn them about equally. Then Royal Blend Sequoia, kind of an interesting name there. Sequoia, you would think this is gonna be just a very woodsy fragrance, right? Maybe even like a deep, heavy, woody scent profile, but that's not really what this is. In fact, what Sequoia actually is a dupe or inspired by release of Angel Share Paradise by Killian. So 2 by Killians in a row here. And one huge word of warning with this fragrance. It is, at least for me, initially very weak. So like when I first got this fragrance in and I sprayed it on, it smelled flat. It didn't have much body to it. It was just one of those deals where you smelled it and it was like, there's not really a whole heck of a lot going on there. Not a whole lot going on behind the eyes type deal, where you're just like, ooh. Just very flat, alcohol smelling, no deepness, no richness, no depth, no longevity, just, it was rough. This is absolutely, without a doubt, one of those fragrances, one of those clone fragrances that does need time to kind of just chill on your desk and mature. A lot of them don't, the vast majority don't, but every once in a while you'll get one of those fragrances where you're like, oh, that whole maturation or maceration, depending on what you want to call it, is a real thing. Thankfully now, this one is infinitely better. You get the raspberry, you get the cognac, you get that nice booziness, that sweetness, tartness that opens it up, more of the woodiness as it dries down. And this one, I would say easily, you put this up against the Lattafa version, Fire on Ice, this one is better. Like some of these are coin flips, some of them, you know, could go either way. With this one, for me, the French Avenue is better than the Lattafa. It might cost a little bit more, but it's worth the difference in price. Another Zenith, this one is Santal. And this one is Stronger With You Sandalwood. And it's kind of weird to me because Stronger With You Sandalwood did not come out that long ago, right? I got my hands on it not even a year ago from when I'm filming this video, and it has already basically met its maker and is being sold for way higher prices. So this is, once again, me telling you guys, if something comes out and it's limited edition and it's a brand that does usually stick to things being limited and you're interested in it, scoop it up when you get the chance. And I know it gets kind of tricky because there are some brands that will do, like I talked about before, it'll be limited and then 5 years later it's still readily available. But the flip side is you'll have brands who say this is limited and they really mean it. And then 5 months later, 6 months later, it is gone. So Stronger With You sandalwood used to be decently affordable at discounters. Nowadays, you go to eBay, it's $250. Some people even asking like $300. And there are insane numbers of fakes on eBay for Stronger With You sandalwood. So if you go right now, you pull it up and you're like, oh no, there's some for $80, $90. Yeah, those are all fake, bro. All the ones from China and all that stuff, just don't do it. You're gonna get ripped off. This one is really, really good. Very well done as far as a Stronger With You clone. There are a lot of different Stronger With You alternatives out there. A lot of them are on the cheaper end. You know, stuff from Fragrance World, which some of those are pretty good. And then ones from Maison Alhambra, which those are usually pretty good too. But this one, as far as quality, is a step above those. Does a really good job of capturing Stronger With You sandalwood. And that one has that Stronger With You style to it, just not quite as heavy with the warmth and everything. The sweetness reined in a little bit, slightly classier, and has a nice, smooth, creamy sandalwood note. That stuff, spot on. Obsidian up next, check that out. Interesting bottle. And this one right here is yet another by Killian. Oh, that's a few of them. You can't do that. Don't do that. I was gonna try to like, you know, hold it like a blade. You know what I mean? And it's so while the cap does look blade handle-esque, do not hold it like a blade. It will come off. It snaps into place, just not too snugly. This one has been kind of trinkling dinkling out there. You know, it hasn't hit all the stores quite yet. It's like you get a couple here, a couple there kind of deal. It smells like Angel Share on the rocks. So both of the newer Angel Shares right here. I'm not sure exactly why they said heck with it and went with like a whole new design instead of putting it here. And by here, I mean within this line, the Royal Blend line. Maybe they think that this presentation style makes it look nicer and they're trying to make it like its own thing. Quality-wise, this is one of the higher French Avenue fragrances. Has a really nice citrus when you first spray it on. And then underneath the citrus, more warmth. You have a nice sweet vanilla. You have some resinous notes in there. You have amber, you have tonka. So it's one of those ones that when you first spray it on, you're like, oh, this would be, you know, spring, maybe early fall. And then as it dries down, you go, oh, I could wear this also, you know, in wintertime or late fall as well. It's an extrait de parfum, so it sticks around quite a long time. In terms of performance, for me, actually, this is better than the original. And projection is not too bad either. It's not beastly, but it will stick around and get you noticed for a long, long time. Limited edition time, once again, Liquid Brun. Now this one is a little bit funny. It comes only in the larger size, 150 mils. And it also is a complete fingerprint magnet because it's glossy, which means it shows off every single time you touch the bottle. Oh, nice. And this does to Liquid Brun what Club de Nuit Intense Man Limited Edition did to Club de Nuit Intense Man. And by that, I mean, it takes the existing DNA, it keeps that intact. It's not changing everything around a whole heck of a lot. It's just making it have more depth, more density, more body, more texture. And it's very strange. You smell Liquid Brun next to the limited edition and you go like, oh, yeah, this one does have more moving parts to it. You get a little touch of like florals along the edge. The way that the sweetness comes across, instead of just being sweet on top of sweet, it has additional nuances kind of poking out. A little more woodiness, the way the spices come across, more pronounced in here as well. Just a top-notch addition to the Liquid Brun lineup. Question is, where do they take it from here? For me, what I think they should do is maybe give us some new vibes, right? So go ahead and take Liquid Brun, but start hybridizing it. Come out with something that's your own thing. I think that would work really well. Then there's Ripple right here, which smells similar to a YSL fragrance, but not Myself mixed with the Most Wanted, which is what's really popular right now. That being said, it would not surprise me if they do that. I think every brand is gonna come out with their own Myself mixture. Remember, I just talked about hybridizing there. Instead, Ripple over here, this is Y Elixir. Hits you with a big fresh blast as soon as you spray the fragrance on, but just like Y Elixir, it's not crazy sweet off the top. I mean, it's got sweetness in there. It's just not like bubblegum. Well, not fully like bubblegum, I mean to say. Maybe a touch. It's fresh laundry-esque, super versatile, very easy to wear, good performance, year-round usability, daytime or evening. And this is gonna be one of those ones that you kind of keep your eye open for. When it hits discounters for a pretty good price, you can scoop this up, work it into your rotation year-round. Super easy to pull off. I was actually gonna do 15, but I'm talking too much. What's the problem? Iris patchouli. Now, to me, and this is maybe just a me thing, when I look at this presentation, I'm like, oh, that's fine. But it doesn't maybe scream to me in the same way as some of these other ones, right? So there is that where you might look at it and just be like, But I will tell you where they get me with this one. And it is one of the words in the name, iris. I'm a freak for iris. And this one right here, it smells similar to Iris Empire by Carolina Herrera, which is quite pricey. I know that you might, hear that name, Carolina Herrera, and if you're unaware of their higher end fragrances, you might think to yourself, I mean, they do Bad Boy. They do CH Men, they do 212. I mean, it's not really that good, not that high end. Their high end stuff though, it's good. They have some stunners, and Iris Empire is one. If you're a fan of Iris used in a way that comes across a little bit sweet, creamy, sexy, classy, that's what this is. That's what this is. It's not crazy far removed from something like Dior Homme Original. We're taking it one step further from that one, Dior Homme Intense. Stuff like that. It is sort of in that wheelhouse. There's also violet in here, there's leather, there's olibanum. You've got a few other supporting notes. I know it's called Iris Patchouli, so the expectation is there's gonna be a whole big blast of patchouli in there. But in actuality, with that name, it is Iris in all caps, and then patchouli in a smaller typeface in lowercase next to the iris. That's how those two notes kind of work together in this one. Extrait de parfum lasts a long time. Quality, absolutely amazing. That stuff is, if you like iris. If you don't like iris, don't even mess with it. You're not gonna be happy, okay? And we will finish off with this right here, Atlantis extrait, which is Wave Child. So this is gonna be obviously a fresher fragrance. You can tell by the name, the blue coloration and all that stuff. And it is sweet, like synthetic sweet, but to be fair, so is the fragrance that this smells similar to. Sort of like candied watermelon when you first spray it on. Also has coconut in there, has citrus. As it dries down, it has some amberwoods in there. Longevity is great. Sticks around a long time, projects very well. And it's a surprisingly solid compliment puller. Like, if you don't enjoy synthetic sweets, you might spray that on and be like, ugh. And yet then you'll walk around and people will be like, what do you got? That smells pretty good. If they come up to you like that, it's a little bit weird. And that's not usually how it goes, but you know what I'm talking about. And to be fair, even though it has that sort of candied watermelon synthetic sweetness off the top, just like Wave Child, it does come across pretty unique compared to most other things. So if you're looking for something spring and summertime that will have you standing out while still appealing to almost everyone that lasts a long time, check that stuff out. So there we have some of the newest releases from French Avenue. In general, French Avenue continues to just absolutely crush, which is really crazy because go back 3-4 years and they were like not even really a player, I feel like. Not to the same level anyway. I wanna thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.